Hey guys, I'm Jody,
I'm JT,
and we
and
are
we
the
are the
Bowtie
Bowtie Baptists.
Baptist, and we're testing this out. So we don't know how this is going to work. We're going to try and go for
Was that a,
about 10, 15
was
minutes.
that a,
That was a massive lag. You just
oh,
lagged again.
it lags recording. Oh,
Yeah. So we've had a lot going on the last few days, and we haven't been able to get together to record. We do want to at least try and get something to throw out and say hey and get our uh, Sunday funny put out. And we really needed to test this for the remote situation whenever we can't get together to record. And
I'm scared to talk. I go,
I
Judge.
can see.
I'm trying to figure out just how lag it is.
So so I can see that you're talking. I just can't hear you. Um. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go and throw this out there. I just came up with this. Hope you're okay with it. Uh, Whoever wants to, whenever JT cannot be heard, but he's speaking. What's that called? Like bad mouth readings. That's what
Oh,
we're gonna do.
bad lip
So
reading.
bad lip readings. Yeah. So whoever gets the best bad lip readings for JT, we'll send you something. You got to actually. I could tell you weren't actually talking that time though.
It's like 5 second
but
lag.
yeah. So this we'll play around. We'll get it figured out for another time. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for my audio with the aquarium tank in the background. I am in one of my kids' bedrooms, and his turtle tank is going. So this is our casual episode with our t-shirts, no bow ties, and poor, very poor quality videos. But
Yeah. Well, my Sunday school class, they know, man. I Rachel had prayer room Sunday morning, and Lily, she was. I got home. I went on a fishing trip with Lily's. I mean, not Lily, with Rachel's family for a couple of days. Came home Saturday night, and as soon as I got home, Lily started just getting sick and throwing up, and so Rachel stayed home with Lily Sunday morning. I went to a prayer room, and I felt great, right, but good enough to go. And about 9:10, man, it just started hitting me, and I went from 9:10 and 9:45. I finally went up to class. Like, guys, I got to go home. And so, like, I've been recovering. Like, we've been sick the last couple of days, and so we're starting to get better though. Yeah, and
that's
so yeah,
good.
this is a
Yeah.
very casual. We're just trying to make it work.
Yeah. So, Scotty, you might hear us talking over each other some from the lag. It might sound like having a conversation with myself, but JT
Jody's
probably
gone.
is responding. It's just not getting picked up. I don't know. My audio might not be getting picked up. We won't know till this goes out. But we're gonna go ahead and post whatever happens tonight is gonna get posted. So if you just can't sit through it, we understand. No hard feelings. Feel free to cut us off and come back next week. But one thing that we want to talk about um, is, and we'll get into this. We'll talk about this briefly since it's a ministry that we do at church with Brotherhood. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get our Sunday funny out of the way. I've got one. If you don't, do you have one?
Yeah, I always have a Bible dad joke.
All right, well, let's hear what you got. Try to hear what you got
Okay.
without the lag.
All right. How did Moses make tea? No, yeah, tea's fine. Or coffee. How did Moses make coffee in the wilderness?
He brewed it.
How'd I tell you that one already?
No, I know a very similar one.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
how do you know God likes coffee?
Mm-mm.
He
He
brews.
brews it.
Yeah, he brews. So
He brews.
all right, so I'm pretty sure that joke did pick up with the audio, but just in case there were issues with it, I've got one for you. All
All right.
right, who in the Bible, other than Adam and Eve, did not have earthly parents? Jesus doesn't count because he had Mary. There's one other person,
Who? I have an idea, but who?
Joshua. He was the son of Nun.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
All right, so so go ahead, feel free, take our jokes, go out and impress your friends. And we got to get that sound bite. He claimed he was going to do it, so hopefully we won't say what it is. We won't spoil the fun, but hopefully we can do that before next week's episode. I might I might bring my recorder to church with me Sunday. But
No.
all right, so let's go ahead and move on to this, and we'll talk a little bit about this other ministry that we do at church with Brotherhood, just very briefly. Now this was not our idea originally. This is something that was started years ago. Our church does. We are fortunate enough to have facilities to do this, but it was like I said, it was started years ago, and I did not participate when they originally did it. But we've started it back up here recently. You've kind of taken lead with it, but there's a group of you got what like 4 or 5 in the core group of guys that rotate through with
Yeah.
helping. But we have a weekly basketball session, and since it's kind of your baby now, I'll let you kind of explain about it, and then I'll kind of give you a recap of what last week went like since you weren't able to be there.
Yeah, well, originally, we were just trying to think of something like an extension of Brotherhood to maybe get some, just younger guys kind of involved and whatnot. And yeah, I think I was talking to Tim or somebody else, maybe Ben Irwin. They were saying, they used to play basketball back in the day. I was like, well, I sat on it for a couple months. I was like, just talking to guys, like, what do you think about playing pickup basketball? And everyone I talked to absolutely loved it. And so we just set a date, and my main goal was, anybody can come, invite whoever you want. But before we get started, we're gonna open up in prayer, and before we leave, we're gonna have a devotion. We're gonna open up the Word of God. And I mean, it's been going well. We've had weeks where, you had 4, 5, 6, which is great. And we've had weeks where we had like 15, which has also been great because I don't know about you, but for me, that's probably about the only time a week I burn a calorie. And man, my first week there, I couldn't stand up straight because I was gasping for air so much. And it was nice having 2 extra people or whatever they can come in and sub and whatnot. So it's fun. Aren't any of us good? We have fun with that. It's a great time. If you have a gym, you just ask guys in your congregation, let's just play pick up basketball. Let's get active. Let's get sweating, and let's just end in the word. And anytime I do it, I try to focus on some type of biblical masculinity. Excuse me. And but we've been playing with different things. Like some of the guys, they've been very eager and to lead a devotion. They've never done that before. Good way to, I think, open that door. And and Will Crowder texted me last week, said he'd like to do it this week.
Okay.
So hey, get a new guy. Just an easy way for, in my opinion, guys to step into leadership roles. And to lead and showcase your faith and lead a devotion, and you're in good company here.
Yeah. Yeah, and you usually know everybody there because it's a small enough group
And
that
it's small enough.
yeah, and it's comfortable with the devotion side of it. Like
Yeah.
you're not getting up in front of a large group of people, and it's that baby step mentality of start small.
Hey, the first week I did it, and if you want to start this, or if you haven't done it yet, and you want to lead a Bible study, I will say I made the mistake of trying to start it as soon as we got done playing, and all we had was the bleachers there. So I had my head down trying to read, and like I started getting lightheaded because I was forgetting to breathe. People thought maybe I couldn't read. I was like, no, I was trying to live. It was good. Good participation. I think everybody participated that night, and I enjoy it.
Yeah. And I know we've had a couple of guys say, well, I don't really play basketball. What else do you have? And so we started bringing cornhole. We got cornhole set up for the older guys or the ones like me that are officially retired. I officially retired after Thursday. I mentioned that to you right before we started recording, but I wouldn't tell you why. But we'll get to that in just a minute. But like there's enough space in there that we can have the active guys playing basketball and the guys that might die if they try to run down the court at one time can play cornhole or something on the other side. But it's fun even if you just come and watch. Which is might be what I do the next couple times. I say that I'll probably end up playing, but it's fun. Even if like this last time we only had 4 guys last week, and I think it was it the week before that or 2 weeks before that we had 11 maybe. I think it was 11 because we had one that we could keep subbing out, rotating out, and few of us have brought our boys that are old enough that they don't have to be monitored 100% of the time. They were playing off on the other half of the gym while we were doing our thing, but yeah, it's good. Just sometimes it's a little bit of creativity and just offering something is bringing more opportunities like what you mentioned. It's giving them the chance to start teaching devotions.
Yeah.
And so who would have thunk it that offering basketball would get 3 or 4 new teachers out of it? Because that's what they're effectively becoming. They might not realize it, but they're turning into teachers and the next round of teachers for our church. And if God calls them elsewhere, at a different body. But I dropped the phone there. It's not on a stand, but
See, I got
go
I do not myself to hold my phone.
But yeah, I'll go ahead and let you know. I guess we can kind of end on this note. But so
yeah, how did you?
Yeah, so I retired. There were 4 of us. It was me, Will Crowder, and 2 teenagers who are, or at least at one point were, on their high school basketball team. I think I won't say names because I don't want to embarrass them, but Garrison and Weston were there, and we ended up deciding to play the 2 old guys against the 2 teenagers, and you would expect that we were going to get it handed to us because I'm pretty sure Garrison was on the North-South All-Star team this year for basketball.
Okay.
Could be wrong on that, but I know he's a jam-up player. Weston's good too. And so me and Will pretty much already knew that we were going to lose. We played to 21, and they scored first. We doing make it take it? Yeah, sure, why not? So we pretty much knew that we had dug our own grave at that point. Well, lo and behold, who comes from behind? The 2 old guys. and we ended up winning.
Oh,
So I'm going out on top, dude. I'm the last time I played, my knees, I could not hardly move. And I've run marathons before. And I'm trying to
yeah.
wanting to get back into it. But that back and forth on the basketball court is a whole different demon. That's another beast. But I woke up Friday and my foot hurt. I was like, man, I didn't give myself a stress fracture trying to beat these young kids. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm done with basketball. But I'll probably be
Well,
playing again Thursday.
one of the reasons we open up in prayer is, one thing. If I open up, I always got, please keep us from injury. Please don't let us tear an ACL out here. But
Well, I think last
not.
time somebody had their eye gouged out. Like,
Oh,
it
there's that
wasn't
one too.
gouged out, but it was a nasty finger to the eyeball. But
Oh
I
God.
don't know. I might show up with
I'll
some
say,
goggles, some safety glasses.
um, I'm still relatively young, So I mean, I'm still in the mindset. I'm in my 20s, and I can still do everything I used to do. But I will say, like the first or second time, like I was dribbling, running, and I wanted to jump to do a layup or whatever. And it was the first time in my life where I told my body to do something, and it told me no. Like I tried to push off with it, said no. I didn't go anywhere. It was a very eye-opening night.
But yeah, no, I mean it's fun. We have fun. I mean, I'm really not that old. I guess it
No,
depends on who you ask, but to
it's
them,
relative, man.
yes. But I mean, I'm turning 40 at the end of the year, so I'm really not that old. I'm still reasonably young. But
Yeah, there you go.
like somebody was asking me about this the other day, the goatee facial hair. They're like, you trying to grow something out? I said, yeah. I said, well, at first I just cleaned it up on the sides for church where it's real bad, nasty patchy. And I just left this because I didn't have time to fool with doing all of it because I'm old
Yeah,
school. I use a safety razor and a straight razor and a shave brush cream. But um, I said no. I said it's February. I said it's about time. I've got to so it looks full at the end of No Shave November. I've got to go ahead and start now.
yeah.
But yeah, that's how bad mine is. But no, I'll let it grow out a little bit, and it takes about a month and a half to grow out enough to tell what color it still is. Just
Yeah.
because my facial hair is red, it used to be. It's mostly gray now, but so
I'm gonna tell the
when
knothead. Nowhere in the agenda tonight was to talk about Jody's goatee.
yeah, it was. We didn't have an agenda though. We're just trying to make a 15 to 20-minute episode that we can hear everything that you say.
Yeah,
You know what you should have done throughout
but
this
yeah, I just
episode?
hate.
You
What's that?
should have just been mouthing stuff throughout this episode to make
Yeah,
me
right.
and everybody else, all the other knotheads, think that you were talking,
Yeah,
and it just
yeah,
wasn't
someone
picking it
catch.
up.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
but anyway,
Well, we did better than I thought because we were like,
yeah,
you just want to cut a 10-minute mark. It's like I don't think we've ever in our lives had a hard time too little. You know.
yeah, yeah,
But
and we really, yeah, honestly, we just winged it on the talking about the ministry thing with the basketball. Was we were going to joke about. I told you we were going to wait, and I would let that be kind of eat up some of the time as far as why I'm retiring from basketball. But
well, yeah,
it
I was
worked.
expecting
It worked out.
embarrassing expect that you just retiring because you want to go out on top. That was
Yeah. Hey.
anticlimactic.
Well, it's okay. One of these days, when you grow old and wise, you'll learn that it's important to go out on top of some teenagers. Show them who's boss, and then don't ever give
Yeah,
them the
hey,
opportunity to teach you otherwise. But
Stop while you're ahead.
well, yep. Well, this was fun. We now know how well this doesn't work for the future. We'll play around with it some more. And but in the meantime, not heads. If you're not head, you're already following us. You're subscribed to us, following us on social media. But if you're not, go ahead and do that. Make sure you give us some good reviews, rate us, and let some friends know about the show. And of course,
Come
email
play
JT. Were you mouthing or actually saying something?
They actually said, yeah, and come play basketball.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, if you're in the Lawrence area, come play basketball with us. March 29th, I'm going to give this plug. Our brotherhood is having a men's and boys event. It's our baseball event for this year. It's something new we're trying. If you're in the Lawrence area, come on out. It's free. We're going to have a speaker share the gospel. That's going to be a surprise who that is. We've got one in our pocket. We've got another that we're still trying to reach out to. But going to have a hot dog dinner. Going to watch some baseball. Have a trivia challenge in the commercial breaks. With the winner going home with a prize. And you can't have baseball, in my opinion, without an ice cream helmet. So we've got some ice cream helmets. Going to put some ice cream in them for the kids. If we have enough, the adults can have some too in a helmet. But it's going to be a good time. It's going to be at Bellevue Baptist Church in Lawrence, South Carolina. If you're not sure where that is, you can Google it. You can email one of us. JT is JT at bowtiebaptist with an S.com. And mine is Jody, spelled with a Y, Jody at bowtiebaptist.com. We'll send you the address if you need it, if you can't find it online. But otherwise, we would love to see you, meet you if we don't know who you are. Also, feel free to send us emails with questions, comments, or corrections for anything we say or do in the shows. And any ideas of anything that you would like to. My wife just waved the baby at me. And by baby, I mean the 4-year-old. So, but yeah, let us know if there's any topics you'd like to see us covered. And we are working on the ones that have already been mentioned. It's just we want to make sure we've got our P's and our Q's in line and I's dotted and T's crossed because we don't want to give out any bad info. We want to be as correct as possible the first round so that we don't have to go back and correct ourselves later. But we will if we need to. So, JT, I've enjoyed it. And we've made it 25 minutes. New record for the shortest episode. We'll see what we can do next time. Yeah. So, all right. Well, until next time, Knotheads, we'll see you guys later.